She's one of 6 candidates running for the open seat in the 2nd Ward on the North Side. Stacey Pfingsten is a former aldermanic staffer for Bob Fioretti and Scott Waguespack and the leader of a group that wants to ban styrofoam packaging in Chicago. I'm Mike Fouché, publisher of Aldertrack, and this is our Meet a Chicago Candidate series. So, Stacey, why did you want to become an alderman?
Well, I just recently left the 2nd Ward office, as you mentioned, in September, and I came to love the job firsthand. And I just want to continue doing that work, but only as alderman now.
Okay. So do you consider yourself an Emmanuel Garcia Fioretti? Well, I guess a Fioretti supporter.
Well,
wouldn't you be?
that is probably obvious. And Bob and I worked very closely for 2 years on a number of different policy issues, and I'd like to continue that. But instead, him maybe as mayor and myself as 2nd Ward alderman. But I'm open to the other candidates as well. I'm ready to work with whomever to put the city in the right direction and also to make sure the 2nd Ward is taken care of.
Have you been campaigning with the Fioretti campaign?
We haven't officially been campaigning together yet.
Okay. So you have a lot of experience with this. Most sitting aldermen would say that ward maintenance is their top concern. But if you had one big citywide issue, what would it be?
Well, right now, putting us on the right track financially is what we need to focus on, I believe.
So what does that mean? I mean, does that mean cutting? Does that mean trying to find new revenues? What does that mean?
I think it's a combination of many things. I think first we have to cut the waste that I think still exists. I think we need to, be very critical on our spending, and we need to look at TIF surplus to help out with pensions. And also, I think that could go towards our neighborhood schools and a number of issues. But we need to do a real TIF reform and audit so we can find out the money that we may be able to put towards those necessary expenditures.
When you say TIF reform, does that mean that you would keep the TIF system and just move the money around differently, or would you get rid of it?
Well, I first think we need to look at see what the surplus is, what that number is, and look to where that could help out with either pensions or schools or even reopening the mental health clinics. But first, I think we need to do a comprehensive audit and see where we are with the TIF program overall.
So the 2nd Ward is not a very cohesive ward. It's all over the place. How do you represent a place like that with so many diverse, disjointed neighborhoods?
Well, I have the background from working in the new 2nd Ward. The last couple of years, we were able to, start working in many of the different communities. So I have the strength I bring is that I'm able to be a great bridge from communities, whether you're in Streeterville or Ukrainian Village. And also my car is used to driving, that route from Streeterville to Ukrainian Village. But one thing I have already thought of is that I'd like to be located centrally in the Lincoln Park neighborhood. And then I want to do satellite pop-up offices on Saturdays so I can be very accessible throughout that long map.
Would you support an elected school board?
I do. But
You do.
I like the idea of a hybrid. I think the reason we're kind of at a standstill is that it's now an all or nothing, either all elected or all appointed. And I think if we did a mix of, say, the mayor could appoint a couple positions, even the governor could appoint a position, and I would like the majority maybe elected, I think then maybe a balance of power would be a nice way to go.
Does that mean to you that the current Chicago School Board has failed?
Well, I have been very concerned on, articles I've been seeing every week on the clout contracts that are still being doled out, the wasteful spending that I'm hearing about. And also I feel parents and taxpayers alike don't feel like they are having a voice in the decisions that CPS is making. And I think by having some elected members as part of the board, I think that would greatly help with accountability.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure to be here.
You can learn more about the Stacey Pfingsten campaign and 183 others by subscribing to our email newsletter at aldertrack.com, by following this series on YouTube, or by listening to this series on Rivet Radio. Thank you very much. More great stuff to come.